There was a lot of really awesome lines in the 80s, two of the best being, of course, Star Wars and MOTU. But what happens when you combine the two? Um, yeah, a combination of MOTU and Star Wars. That would obviously look really awesome. And an awesome company, Super 7, has actually done that in their reaction line, which is figures that were never made in the vintage Star Wars style, made in that style. So, one being MOTU, which, if you're wondering what that would look like, this is what it would look like. It's kind of goofy looking, but as you can see, this is the same character, of course, same figure basically, but this just being in the vintage Kenner Star Wars style. So today I have 6 figures to show off. And I'm just going to be going through them one by one, showing you what these look like. So the first two are the He-Man figures that I have. So the first one is classic He-Man with the regular armor. So as you can see, it looks really, really cool. It's got everything that a He-Man figure should have, including the power sword. But it is, as you can see, all in the vintage Kenner Star Wars style. So yeah, He-Man there, he looks really, really awesome. He's got orange belt, he's whatever you want to call it. Um, all very simple paint, so that's perfect for the vintage Kenner style. So yeah, this is a very awesome figure. The next is Battle Armor He-Man. So this is another really awesome figure. I do love this figure. It's very, very cool. You can see it's on the broken bit on the battle armor, because why wouldn't it be? The battle axe is very, very awesome. Just a tiny little small thing. Yeah, it looks a bit angry or annoyed or whatever. But yeah, battle armor He-Man. The next is a super awesome figure, and it is my favorite vintage MOTU figure, Merman. So this figure is obviously Merman. It has the blue color. It has everything that Merman would have. It does it kind of weird with the bow tie, because it's on the sides. They're very wide when it should just be this tiny little bit, but it's fine. The sword is another very, very cool thing. They kind of added a little bit of I can't tell if it's like scratching, if it's meant to be like scratches at the top. I believe it is, but you can see up there at the tip there, it looks very it's very detailed with like scratches from whatever battle he was doing with the sword. I don't even know if he ever really did anything like that in the actual show, but yeah, Merman. His face is very, very cool. His eyes are honestly kind of creepy looking, but yeah. The next one is Zodak. So, super cool figure there. You can see they actually did add the hair on the back of him. You can tell pretty good. And then you can see sort of in under his shirt there, or his armor, you can kind of tell it does have the hair right there. And then his face looks kind of cool, or kind of goofy, because the eyes and the just everything looks a bit weird, but overall, super, super cool figure. Definitely retaining to the original Zodak. Now, Skeletor. This is one of the goofiest figures in this line. I definitely think that this is a pretty silly looking figure because, well, his head is just very big. But also, that figure's always just goofy with the hood being connected to, well, nothing. So, yeah, even though it's kind of goofy looking, it's still a very, very awesome looking figure. You got the boots there, and for some reason they're painted only on the fronts. I don't know if that's every one of these figures. It's not. It's just on Skeletor there. And if we take out his weapon from his hand, the weird goat head thing, skull thing, that looks very, very cool. Especially in that tiny style. The second to last is Ram Man. I got this at a toy store called Rogue Toys. And it's very, very, very cool. One thing that I noticed is that the arms are not painted, and so the skin color looks a little bit different from his arms to his head. But then also just his face. He looks kind of weird. He's like staring off blankly into the distance, which I guess all of these are. But it just doesn't have as much character as I would like this figure to have. It's kind of weird looking. But still, overall, very awesome. And last, but definitely not least, is Orko. I actually did a sort of a full video on this guy in my, if you go back to my channel, my Orko review. You gotta have to scroll a little bit. It's a bit older, but I have two figures in that review, one being this one and the other being the vintage Orko. But I really love this figure. Even though it doesn't really look like the vintage one, it still looks very, very cool. I'm trying to get some of the lighting a bit better for this. That's better. You can kind of see it better there, but yeah. He's very short compared to a regular vintage Kenner Star Wars figure. He is quite short. But they did very well. He has the neck joint, and you can see there, all very cool stuff. I love the hands. I love tiny hands, because they just all have so much, like, detail and character and stuff. Couldn't really see that, but there we go. But yeah, hands there. And then he has his magic wand, of course. Just a tiny piece of plastic. But yeah, that is the reaction, the Super 7 reaction MOTU figures. If you enjoyed this review, then check out the other reviews on my channel, because they're all very similar. They're all very alike. They all focus on the same thing, which is reviewing figures. I don't usually do reviews of newer figures, but I sometimes do. I've done it before, and I'm doing it now. But if you are more into vintage figures, which is the same thing that I'm really into, that's what I mostly do on my channel. If you want to see that, then stay tuned for more videos. And with that, that is the end of today's video. Do 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 do.